Hey tubers, Bart coming at you. I got a ginger ale tonight. I failed to conduct a resupply over the weekend, so that's what I got. But I got a nice little stack of goodies here. But I wanted to start with some chatting because some of you guys like to listen to me talk from time to time. And so I'm starting to feel like if I don't say a few words, I start to let you down a little bit on that end. But the only thing really on my mind is I watched a video today, and I'll start with this one. I like to pay attention to aspects of the hobby that aren't me, but that are still important for me to keep track of, so that I understand the hobby as a whole, what makes it ebb and flow, those types of things. And so I watch a few videos from people that I don't really, care to watch too much, but I still do to stay in the loop, right? So Sports Card Investor is one of those folks. And he had a video today on NFTs. And I was like, all right, well, NFTs are definitely not for me, but let's see where he's going with this. And that one, I try to give that guy the benefit of the doubt every time, because I don't watch all his videos because he just pumps out too much stuff, but I consistently, based on the topics, all right, this one's out of my wheelhouse, let me check, see what's going on. This one's out of my wheelhouse. And I can't even, like, at some point you'd think I'd be watching enough where, like, I start to see it from his side, or I start to enjoy it a little bit more. But that guy just, is a car salesman. He pronounces guys' names wrong so badly sometimes that are at players and stuff. It's just like, is this guy legit? I watched a video of his a couple days ago. And I hate that I'm coming across with negativity, so I'm trying to smile while I'm doing this. But I was watching a video, and he tried to say that the Cal Ripken rookie card was the most graded card of all time, and that just blew my mind. That anybody that's in the hobby as much as him would have thrown that out there as a possibility or anything like that. But he created some NFT project through some side app that he's got going on or whatever like that, and it totally bombed. And you guys know I'm in the military. I'm in the leadership side of things, so I'm a student of leadership and things like that. And obviously on the grand stage right now is, different leaders and how they're handling situations and stuff like that. So he really took this video on NFTs and tried to make like one of those moments where he rose above by, talking about vulnerability and showing some transparency is what he was going for, right? Man, he somehow turned it into a lecture and still said he was better than all of you, and it was just so weird to me. But I don't want to go too far on that because there's too much negativity in that. But I keep trying to give that guy a chance on some things, but it's a little off the wall. Somewhere in that realm, on the positive side of things that I've watched a couple videos lately, is a kid named Andrew Caroselli. He's got like a whole crew or something like that. He's a breaker or something like that, but he does videos, not the breaks, but like kind of around that space, but beyond it, kind of like taking a step back from the breaking. So you see breaks happening, but he's got the whole environment in that. So I really dig his energy that he goes into it. Young kid, they still got some things to learn too, which is kind of funny. They opened one of those, and I never understood them, but you buy a box and there's a jersey autographed inside something, and it's completely random, you don't know. And it took a group of 5 of them a good couple minutes to figure out that Andre Moon's nickname was Bad Moon, or Andre Rison's nickname was Bad Moon, because that's what it said on the jersey for whatever reason on the nameplate. But great energy, and they're doing this whole thing with Twitch, and that was where it will pique my curiosity and stuff like that, is if the younger generation is going to pick up on and what they pick up on, right? That's why NFTs and that type of stuff, breaking going to last? It kind of seems like it is, because it's been going on for a couple years there. But then Twitch, are people going to be live streaming this stuff? He went live for like 24 hours straight and stuff. Is there an audience for that? I'm just curious. You ain't gonna see me doing 24 hours live or anything like that, but and how often could you put on an event for 24 hours consecutive that people are tuning in and following and stuff like that? And then Discords, I don't know, that one's a little, I know it's just a, talking app or whatever. The apps itself have always been a little difficult to navigate for me on Discord and stuff. And I'm still a millennial. I'm as old a millennial as you can be, but I'm still a millennial. So that stuff isn't too foreign to me, but it just seems a little extra trying to hunt for information on those things. And then just, I don't know. I never been on one where the content was all that good, but I like to follow it. I don't know if anybody else does that type of stuff, but holla at me if you do, because I'm curious. And if you do, and I'm not mentioning certain things that are, happening around the hobby, hit me up. But let's get in some cards. I've mentioned wanting to do a rated rookie kind of side PC. Not sure how deep I'm going, but picked up a couple classics that you'll never be wrong with. Got the Chipper Jones and a PSA 9. I've been on these all the time when they come up, but I don't usually win because, I lowball my bids. But I won the Chipper, and so once I won the Chipper, I was like, all right, well, some guy, 2 days ago or whatever, sent me an offer on this one. And so I picked up the Piazza. Both of those are from 93 Donruss. There's a couple of good ones in there. Jim Thomey's got one from 92 Donruss. I still want to get, I don't have the rated rookie of Canseco. Joe Carter's got the original joint back in 84. That's kind of, those are the first rated rookies that I'm aware of. And he was the only one that was a bigger name that year. Rated rookies actually stayed consistent for a lot more years than I thought. They went through the 90s, but they looked completely different. They were just, metallic emblems that said rated rookie on them, because A-Rod's got one, Jeter's got one, but they just don't look anything like the classic little rated logo. Obviously, that's a little modification of what we know as the classic rated rookie, but it's much closer. And then it died out in the 2000s for about 10 or 15 years, about 10 years. And then in 2011, it came back, 2010, excuse me, I think. And by 2011, I didn't know this, but I was bidding on a Mike Trout PSA 9 Contenders rated rookie. Which is weird. Hadn't seen it. Not the greatest of looking cards, which is why I didn't chase it, because I think the PSA 9 went for like $173. I was willing to go over a little over 100 because it's Mike Trout. You're not really going to go wrong with picking that up, but wasn't doing that. And then I think 10s were $400 or $500 or something like that. But kind of neat. Not really sure where I'm going, how big I'm going on that side PC. I got these are 8 and 9s of the older ones in the late 80s, early 90s, and then I got another 8 modern ones. Mr. National, Ryan Zimmerman, hit the retirement button on us. Or I guess that's a phrase that's not used anywhere outside the military, but in the military, when you retire, it's on a computer system and you click a button. And so we always call it, are you going to hit the button? Did you hit the button? Type of stuff. But really sweet card. All-Star Trophy, Ryan Zimmerman from 08. I don't know if this is, I think it's Heritage. But sweet card there. Happy to have that one. Love to have it graded, but we're gonna have to get down to 10 or 15 bucks per grade before I ever send that one in. I just thought this was a nice, good looking, freshly graded Shaq. So won that for 20 bucks. Sounded like a good idea at the time, and I got no regrets there. Been bidding on these forever. Well, basically since I sold mine, but trying to get one for cheaper, and did pretty good on this finally. The stuff's starting to come back down. It's incremental, so it's just like random pockets of cards come down, while other ones just stay the same, even though there's a high volume of all of them, and then eventually the other ones come down. So it's not everything's, the tide isn't lowering all the ships. The ships are lowering, going down at their own rates, kind of. But this one finally came down, so I was happy with that. I kind of was also low bidding that one because this card, to me, opens Pandora's box back up for some of the other cards that are complementary to it that need to be in the PC at some point, but without one of them, I didn't need to chase all the others. But now that that one's there, I'm going to be looking heavier to get the Chipper Jones in a 10, as well as the Leaf Frank Thomas, because they're all, you know, Chipper Jones is for first ballot Hall of Famer, but Tommy's and the Frank Thomas, also first ballot Hall of Famer for Frank Thomas, but 500 home run guy. So kind of all, they're all in the same sets. They all sit right next to each other line by line in them sets. So that's kind of how I look at it. Picked up this Zenith George Kittle Z-Team. I thought I liked it a lot more when I bought it, especially since it was Z-Team, and that's something that's been around since the 90s, but I'm not the biggest fan of this card. It's mostly just because of him, what his pose is, what he looks like. He's got the long hair that looks more mullet-ish in that one, but numbered at 25, so still kind of a cool card. If there's a type of card that's in my wheelhouse, this is it. Another Ryan Zimmerman with the All-Star Cup Gold. I have the base black version at PSA. I see it's been there for a year. Hopefully that does well. 87 insert of this year's Topps. One of our rookies, Jackson Reeds. This is the cheaper one of those rookies, and it should be because this guy's like 25 or 26 and is a rookie, right? So he ain't gonna do too much. Anybody coming into the league at number 76 ain't showing too much promise, but loved this design, and I'm hoping that, you know, I get a couple of our rookies, as I think there might be 3 of our rookies that have this design. So those will, you know, just kind of be nice little complementary items to each other in the PC. These were all 4-sharp corner pickups, all NFL top 100 guys. Bruce Matthews, 89 score, PSA 10. My guy, Darrell Green. I was not I gotta say this for the first time, Commanders. Yeah, hell, I was not a Commanders fan when I was growing up, but I grew up very close to the Redskins and the stadium and everything like that. Went to some games, but I only went to games when they played the 49ers. I was already a fan, even as a kid, but you do have some, you know, you do still root for some guys locally when that happens, even if you're not a fan of the team. And for me, that was Art Monk and Darrell Green, fastest guy in the league for many years, and just an all-around, just, you know, good dude, squeaky clean, you know, reputation, everything. Just there's nothing you could say bad about him. So I had to be a fan. And then Willie Lanier from 71 on PSA 7. Again, those are all 3 of those were top 100 guys on the NFL set. And then I found 5 boxes of 22 hoops basketball, and opened about the same amount last year. Sent a fair number. Man, I probably opened a little bit more than that last year. Sent a fair amount of them into PSA. So I'm waiting on those. And I'm a big fan of the slams. So out of the 5 boxes, I did hit 3 slams in this one. This is the Larry Johnson, the Jason Kidd, and got the Ray Allen. These don't go for nearly as much as they did last year's. I'm guessing it's because there's not a rookie this year, or rookies, that is really carrying the stuff. We were still in a Zion craze last year when that came out, and he had one. And so that's part of it. I got to look it up, though, because this is Slam 87, and there's no way there's 87 or more versions of different dudes on Slam this year, but this one is number 1. So I got to look that up because I've only seen like 15 to 20 different ones so far, and last year was somewhere in the low 20s as far as differences. But I have a couple of them of the slams from last year at PSA, and how they grade will kind of dictate whether I start that side PC a little bit too, because I really like these. They just look so nice and clean in design and pop. If if you see some of the explosion ones from last year, they are some of the nicest looking cards I've seen. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, but I did hit like the Luka Holo. I got the Kobe. I got the Zion and a couple others, and I submitted most of them to PSA. So if I get some good grades on those, then that'll be like the foundation for that side PC to develop there. You know, if I get garbage, then, you know, ain't gonna happen, because then I would have to pick up new versions of that. And then I'll kind of just show off what I put in top loaders there. I do like to pick up get a base of dudes and keep them for posterity purposes if they're Hall of Famer types. This is a frequent flyers Rudy Gobert. Ain't nothing special, but this is the hollow version. So they have like these random just set inserts that come along. Nothing special, but they all have like hollow versions of them, which is kind of nice. So this is a hollow version of the Arriving Now. What rookies that? That's Scotty Barnes, Steph. These are pretty cool. I don't even know what that insert's called. I should have. Well, who cares? It looks like the explosion from last year, so maybe that's what it's called. But that is Christian Wood there from the Rockets. LBJ got a good one there. I don't like those powder blue nets. A jersey card. There's a Lights Camera Action. Last year's design of those was much better than this year, but I'm usually not a big fan of horizontal cards anyway. Another jersey. I got another explosion one in there. Jalen Green. Giannis. Got a color match there of Chris Paul. Just a regular, you know, non-numbered insert or anything like that. Anything LeBron, I'm going to put in a top loader. And then they do the class of whatever year, but this one was a hollow version. So put that in. So just a little share there. I'm just get super excited when I find wax. I don't really go hunting for it at the Walmarts and the Targets. There's our version of that on the base is called the BX, and it pops great cards every there once in a while. I got tons of Magic crap, but rarely do I see cards there. But that's because there's a couple other sharks that circle that place, so they pluck through most of it. So I have not seen any 2022 Topps baseball yet. I'm looking forward to grabbing some of that. But those were also $25 a retail box instead of $20, so they snuck it on me. I thought I was grabbing $100 worth, and it ended up being $125. So prices are going up. Speaking of which, 2022, that's been a big hobby talk. I should have tossed that one at the beginning. Of the print runs of Topps base, I say print it. We should never have a problem finding flagship Topps. It should be anywhere and everywhere we want it to be. You know, don't print so much of it that like people are, you know, filling up their garages and for 20 years from now. That gets excessive, but print enough so that anybody wants to buy it has it readily available. Kids can get it. That's the big one, right? That's how people start in a hobby. It's got to be available. So that's what I got for you on is it Monday? Every Monday. It must be. It's like the third Tuesday of the week already, right? But take care. Until next time. Later.